as well.
It's being recorded.
Yeah. Hello, Art. Welcome.
Yeah, Arts in West Hazel though too, so.
Yeah, got it. Got it. Okay, then we've got our inactives. I saw Glenn Young on. Welcome, Glenn. Any other counselors that I missed? Obviously, Mary Lee, you're here. Thank you for setting this up. And county manager. No. Okay. Okay, I believe that is all on attendance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 official neighborhoods represented and 2 guests.
I have a question for Marilee before we get started.
Certainly.
I had talked to Kim yesterday and she was was planning on coming. Did something happen?
Yes, she's on a plane. She said she was going to try to dial in from the plane, but she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to connect.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, back to you, Steve.
Okay. So, hang on just a second. Oh. The 2 county departments that are represented are basically Glenn and the council and Marilee. Glenn, do you have anything to report to us?
Well, I would ask if there's anything anybody wants to know about.
Where are we at in the comp plan real quickly? What's kind of next phase or step on that?
Well, we are wrestling with everything. The planning commission, they had a public hearing and it took 3 meetings to get through. It took 2 meetings just to get through public comment. And they deliberated and issued a recommendation to the council. I believe not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, the council will have a work session with staff and they'll be presenting the planning commission recommendation to us and we'll be able to have some discussion centered around that. We are supposed to scheduled to be complete with the comp plan by the end of June, I believe, is what we're looking at. But, there's been new kind of what I would call curveballs that have come into play. One is the ag study and a bit more in-depth look at it is a work session that the council requested to have with staff, as well as a work session on TDRs, which is a transfer of development rights. And those are 2 subjects that could have dramatic change in course. And I mean, there's always the potential that some of this could add some additional time needed to get through the entire process to be able to be complete. But that's where we're at. Things are moving forward. We continually get input from the cities and from all the public in general as well. It is quite the endeavor, I will tell you that. Sorting through all of this information is extremely challenging.
Yeah.
And realizing that all viewpoints are valid viewpoints, but they're not the only viewpoints. That's, I think, is important to remember. We're getting recommendations from our Agricultural Advisory Committee. We're getting recommendations from Development Engineering Advisory Board. We're getting recommendations from the Planning Commission. And in some places, though, the recommendations are significantly different from each other. So, we're having to sort through all of this content including, for me, I, it kind of, I put a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I put a lot of, oh, I can't think of the right term. I'll just try to reword it because I can't think of the right word, but the vision that the cities have for the future of their city to me is significant. So you have that on top of all of the data that we get and on top of all the recommendations from all the advisory boards. So it is a very interesting process to say the least. It is exhausting, to be quite honest. And I can't wait to I keep saying this from the dais because I really have gotten very frustrated with this process. I keep saying I can't wait for us to finish our comprehensive plan updates so that we can actually start planning. That's what I really feel. This has really become an exercise of checking the boxes of all the requirements that are passed down from the state and really does not allow us the time and the latitude to actually plan for the future of Clark County comprehensively. So anyway, hopefully that gives you kind of a little bit of an update, along with some kind of opinion from Counselor Young, not obviously the opinion of the entirety of the council.
Right. That's very much appreciated. Knowing all of the stuff that's getting juggled is very helpful. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You bet. I'm
Thank
happy to
you very
answer any
much.
other questions if there are any.
I've got one.
Sure.
This probably isn't your area, but since you're on the council, I'm wondering if you are in tune with whatever's going on with code enforcement. I'm getting calls complaining that residents are submitting code violations with pictures this is on the phone line, and I think online, and leaving their phone number, and no one's getting back to them. This particular one was a quarry report of a quarry violation operating in violation of the I was going to say covenants, the
CUP.
operating, yeah,
Yeah,
The what?
I'm familiar with that. I've seen that. Somebody sent me an email and I have forwarded that to staff and asked them to look into it. I think I got that email like yesterday, either yesterday or actually maybe even today.
was it a
So
quarry related one?
I don't know if it was a quarry,
Oh,
but
okay, because
it was maybe it's a different thing, but it was along the lines that they had been granted a permit and things weren't built out according to that permit.
oh, no, it'd be a different one.
Different one? Oh,
Yeah, it'd be
okay.
different, but it's in line with what I'm hearing is that the sense is among residents that we have no code enforcement at all going on right now. And that's a real problem. I mean, for everybody. Um,
Yeah, I agree with you.
and
Oh, go ahead.
oh, and I guess what I'm kind of looking for is uh, I've called the line in the past and recalled and recalled, and I eventually get somebody. I've not done that yet. I guess my question would be, what should I do? Should I call the county manager? Should I call code enforcement? But anybody I've this isn't the first time this has come up. Anybody I've talked to, nothing's happening. We still have no code enforcement. We have a lot of frustrated residents. And if we had in-person meetings, they would probably storm the castle, except people just let it go. And I think that's a problem too, because basically we have no code enforcement.
So first of all, I lost you there for about maybe 15, 20 seconds, but I think
Okay.
I understood the question. Um, and the reality is that we don't have enough staff to do the job the way that
Whoops. Austin.
Lost you now. I don't know
We
if you-
lost you,
You
Glenn.
dropped out, Gary.
Oh, I've lost me too?
No, we got you, Gary.
Oh, okay.
We got
If
you
I can
back,
chime
yeah.
in really quick, I'm Kathleen. I'm the county manager.
Oh, hi.
Hi, it's nice to see you all. My apologies for being late. I had some technical issues, but yes, if you're not getting a response, please send them to me. I can follow up
Okay.
with staff.
Okay.
I know the one that Counselor Young was referencing was sent, which was not about the quarry. It was about a gas station permit. That's already been forwarded to staff. I already got a response. But yes, if you're putting in something through the online ticketing or making the phone call and you haven't received a response, let me know. I'll follow up directly with staff.
My understanding was they did both, and this goes back to January 15th. So, 3 weeks later, somebody should have contacted him and at least said, no, it's not a violation, or
Yeah.
yes. And they sent pictures also. So if there's a problem receiving those, or maybe he didn't get them sent properly or something, but maybe I can get my hands on what he submitted and get that to you. And
Yep. That'll
okay,
work.
that's what I needed to know is what I should do to help residents when they contact
Yeah,
me.
Right.
Find out
Absolutely.
what's
No,
going
they
on.
should have
Okay.
had some sort of response by now, at least acknowledging that we got it and we're looking into it. So yes, please feel free to forward it to me and I'll make sure that it responses.
I'll jump in on that. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Of course.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Kathleen, do you have anything to report to us from the manager's office?
I don't think so. I heard Counselor Young talking about the comp plan update. There is a work session next week on the planning commissioner's preferred alternative recommendations for council. And there'll be a couple more work sessions coming on the TDR program and possibility of interlocal agreement and some other GMA stuff it will be scheduled by the end of the month or in March. I guess the only other thing I can think of is the Charter Review Commission has started meeting. They're meeting every Wednesday night from 5 to 7. It is on the website, so if anybody wants to watch, and there's public comment on there as well, I know that they would welcome any comments with that meeting as well. So other than that, if I think of something, I'll bring it up, but happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Very good, thank you. Well, I think we can then progress to roundtable. Unless there is something to discuss before that.
I have a couple of things to reminders. I don't have any requests yet for dates for popsicles in the park or picnics in the park, other than one from Jordan for Orchards community. And if you do want to have your dates, if you are going to have a picnic or popsicles in the park, I've got Northeast Hazeldale has a request in as well. But if you want specific times, the Saturdays go really, really fast for the reservations. And so if you don't reserve them now, you won't get a date and you'll wind up in September like Jordan did last year. And we don't want that to happen because we don't have as good of attendance if we do that. And then as far as for neighborhood association meetings, February is already completely booked. March, second, third weeks are full. First week of March is still open, and the fourth week of March is still open. But second and third weeks of March are full up. So those dates are booked.
Okay,
Steve, if I may go off of that, Marilee, I got confirmation finally from the church for March 16th, Monday, which it sounds like that may be a challenge.
Yeah, March 16th is actually, March 16th. Hang on. I can make March 16th work.
That would be awesome.
Same time of 6:30.
Yes.
Okay, we'll connect later for what you want on the agenda and
Yep.
who you want
Yep.
out there.
Yep.
I'm assuming Bonneville and Comp Plan.
Yeah, mostly,
That would start.
So yeah, we're thinking maybe, yeah, just drew a blank, Kevin Tyler.
Okay,
So,
I'll start that. But shoot me an email if you want anybody else out
yeah,
there. Oh, that's the other suggestion that I have. I did have some contact with a new it's a newly named group, but it's an old group. The They used to be like humans. They used to be called Human Services. I know that Isla has had them talk at her group before. Now they're called Volunteers in Motion, or wait, excuse me, Community in Motion, and it's a group that caters more to the rural groups. They do work with some of the more interior groups, but Prebstel might be interested in having him come out and talk. They help connect seniors and people with ADA issues with transportation to get to the doctor or to get to the grocery store. And they also recruit volunteers to do some of that transportation. So they work on both ends of that. Real helpful to be able to get those connections made. And if you have space for them on your agenda, I can make that connection to get them out there to give some information to your group.
yeah, I just saw something on that. Was that an email that you had sent out?
I think I sent something
Yeah.
out to everybody on
Yeah,
it.
I saw something on that. So yeah, that may work. Let me check with the group on that.
Yeah, especially the more rural the
Yeah.
group, the more
Yeah.
difficult it can be for somebody, especially if they don't have a lot of family to help them with transportation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we hit that with my dad. So yeah, definitely.
And even if you do have family, sometimes you
Yeah.
need some help.
Yeah.
It can be a real challenge with a bunch of doctor appointments.
Awesome.
Okay. Um, well, I think we have lots of time for roundtable since and as part of that, we can talk about what people want to hear, who people want to hear from uh, in upcoming meetings. Um, so even though Isla's not an officer, she still lives in West Hazeldale. So do you have anything to contribute, Isla?
I'm not, my vote doesn't count, my voice isn't heard, so um, I'm concerned that for the switch off, when Brendan left, I know someone new from his board had stepped up, but none of the neighbors have heard anything. And so they email me, call me, or see me in the grocery store and say, when is West Hazelgill going to meet? So maybe Mary Lee has connected and has an idea when that'll happen. So at least for those people who connect to me, I could give them an answer.
We are planning to send out a huge mailing for the meeting in March for Northeast Hazeldale and do a combined meeting with West Hazeldale. And part of the meeting will be a call for volunteers for West Hazeldale, so that then the people that come to the meeting will be able to see a meeting being run. So it's not just a gathering. They can see what's happening, and Bill's planning a pretty full meeting for March. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
What day in March?
the 11th of March.
Thank you.
And we're getting the postcard ready now. And so it'll go out to both neighborhoods. So everybody should get something in their mailbox that way.
Oh, good.
And I talked to him about it because I said, you know, we really need to have something so that there is an agenda so people can see what we do, rather than just saying, hey, come on down. We want you to sign up to volunteer for something, because we won't get nobody wants to just volunteer. You already know that. We've had problems with that before.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing that. That'll help. And then I can tell people, cool off, it's happening.
And the timing will be good to remind folks of the May parade coming up too.
Yes, that's the big thing in West Hazeldale.
Yep.
Well, Prebstill's awaiting eagerly the Department of Ecology report on Camp Bonneville. There was a meeting a month or so ago of residents with the Department of Ecology and the county, and a lot of good questions and stuff. So they're supposed to have that finalized early March. So hopefully that'll tie in well with our meeting. So that is what we're shooting for anyway.
Hey. Brian, do you have anything?
Well, I got a whole long list for you.
Good.
Good job.
So my number one problem up here is very much like Gary. It's a code violation and nothing's getting done. I have got 2 cases now that are going north of $1 million cleanups. And these people are still active and they're still adding, and they're going to add more. I see them on Facebook trying to get more stuff into their properties. They're hoarders and they're bringing in chemicals. And, you know, this is prime fishing area, and code enforcement is sitting on its hands and they are waiting for the current prosecutor to retire downtown. And not only that, but they have this evolution of college kids that are coming through as prosecutors to help out. You know, I mean, they're trying to get the cheapest people they can get as prosecutors. And so they're on for 2 weeks, off for 2 weeks, on for 2 weeks. And all of these code violations that are going up to prosecution, you know, they're just losing all the information. It's just a mess. Anyway, so that one there, I wish the county would pump a little bit more money into code violation people, get some more, you know, get that going, put some more money into prosecution. You know, the court thing, I see it daily in the newspaper. It's a mess. Anyway, so the other thing that's hitting up here in Salachi Prairie is a lot of road deaths this year. And also, they have hit 3 of our buildings up here that have stood for nearly 100 years without any sort of, you know, vehicle slamming into them. But just recently, we just had another building completely demolished, the whole front of it with a car. And we don't know how this is occurring, whether, you know, it doesn't seem like drugs. The other one is road deaths on Cedar Creek Road. We're watching that, and it doesn't seem like alcohol is involved, but these people are going really fast. And there's no police coverage up here. So these guys keep on getting away with it. For one, they don't buy any tags for the car. And 2, they have this all me feeling, you know, to a point where they jump in behind the car and they go 90 or 100 miles an hour and they run us old folks right off the road.
Brian, have you asked for a conversation with the sheriff, with John Porch?
I have not,
That might be productive.
well,
If, you know, if you can
uh-huh.
distill
Yeah.
the issues into something with bullet points that you can discuss with him, that would
Yeah.
probably help you a little.
Well, the problem is that when these people try to go up through the line, they hit the prosecution and they run into these interns and commissioners instead of judges. They release them right back out. So really talking to police doesn't do you much good. That the police will get you off the road for one day, you know, until you get your probable cause hearing or whatever. But that is the problem, is just recidivism, you know, happening over and over again. And now in Yakult and Salachi, we've had multiple deaths on our roads. Okay. And then there is kind of like this one here goes in the highway repair, you know, it's the state, it's the yellow bridge, and it has steel plates on it anyway. I won't bore you to death. And then there's a lot of people that are just really concerned about that power line coming through on 256th Street. And I investigated that one, and I posted just about everything online. And somebody else, you know, that power line is going to be coming screaming down toward Camas Way. And anyway, not a lot's going to happen till 2030. So I'm just going to leave that one alone. But anyway, keep it on top of the mind. But the biggest two are code violators and road deaths up here. 503 has been a terrible road all 35 years that I've been here. So
You say that's been true for a long time.
oh yeah, yeah.
Brian,
And that's a state road, right?
Yes.
That's state road, not county road.
Brian, the power line, that's the Pacific Core project.
It is.
Yeah, you and I should get together on that because that goes right through my neighborhood down 212th on its way to Camas. And there are hundreds of people deathly concerned about that project, just wringing their hands. And so,
Well,
yeah, we all need to pool our communications. Yeah, Kirk has the same thing.
Yeah, it goes right through mine as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
the one that you should concern yourself on your property titles, primarily the PP&L garnered 50 years or 60 years ago. They put in a 40-foot easement going through, but the tree cutback line is going to be 100 foot. So the people up here in Salachi, they've got tree farms and they're kind of concerned, and they're saying, oh, well, you're going to whack $200,000 worth of my trees. And so that might be the same thing for you, where it's titled as 40 foot, but they're going to take 100 foot cutback. So
Yeah, I think that's 100-foot minimum from what I'm hearing, because if all they have to do is deem a tree outside 100 feet to be a danger tree, and they can take it too.
yeah, so if you guys
That's
complain,
up to them.
if you complain in Camas and they have to switch directions with the lines, then they can come in and take 150 foot.
Yeah,
When they go to turn the corner with the power line. So
that's that's getting some pretty good usage out of a 40-foot easement.
yeah, that
In my neighborhood, we'll lose houses to eminent domain.
yeah.
It's going to go right over a number of houses and right next to many, many houses. And nobody knows exactly what that means.
Do we know how those houses were permitted? Because that seems to be an issue.
The easement is very ambiguous. If it's a 40-foot easement, no one ever questioned whether this would be used for a 230,000 volt line. The assumption was, hey, this is for local lines running to my house or through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Never in the world was this ever intended for a 230,000 volt line. So
Yeah.
that's how it happened. And after
Thank you.
60 years, do we want the whole county to leave that land lying there undeveloped? Uh, on that assumption that maybe sometime somebody would nefariously expand that from 40 feet to 150 or 200 feet. Yeah. So that's how it happened.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it's difficult for the people up here to know that Washington is supplying these power lines that are heading down to Oregon to back up the power supply in Troutdale, because of 16 data mines out toward Boardman out there, that it does AI computing and Bitcoin. And people are so mad. It's kind of like we spent billions of dollars trying to save, conserve electricity, and we're all turning our light switches off. We all remember, the commercials on TV is conserve, conserve, conserve. And then all of a sudden, 2026 rolls around. They've got this magic computer that does some sort of levitating dance for you, AI, and then Bitcoin that takes like 250 gigawatts just to figure out where that one coin went. I mean, it's stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like giving your car keys to somebody who constantly loses car keys, and then spend all this money on electricity trying to find your car key. It's so stupid, and it's making people angry,
So let's probably take that, as a group thing, offline or whatever, because that doesn't affect necessarily everyone in the county, but it certainly has an impact on the three of us for
On
sure.
some of us, yeah, we should get together and figure out how to join up with other groups of interested people and get some, strength in numbers going.
There's a big number in Yakult that did bring up the PP&L people, and the guy stood right there and he took a couple of, brutal questions right off the trot.
That was me.
You? Oh,
That was
okay.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I was getting frustrated.
yeah. That was really, really difficult there. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
I wanted it to be.
All right. That's it from Salachi.
Okay. Gary, do you have anything for us?
Nothing new. I think I've said what I wanted to tonight.
Okay. Judy.
Yes, I have a big problem because what the people in my association and the people in Curtin Creek have, we all are concerned about 94th Street. Now, the problem is I got the notice that the 98 housing on 7 acres of land or 8 acres of land right across from the operations center, the new operations center that's being built. And the problem with that is already people have a hard time going from 86th Street, turning left onto Patton, or onto 94th, excuse me.
Right.
And when we've tried to contact the people, well, we've asked the people if they have a plan to mitigate with the 200 vehicles that are going to be coming soon from the operations center, and then now another maybe 150 to 200 cars coming from that the corner of 94th and 88th is where this is going to be located, and they don't seem to have a plan. And the problem with that is, if there's no plan, at one point they said, well, we could have a roundabout there. But when I looked at the plan, where the housing development is going, there's no room there. I mean, it goes all right out, totally bordering on 94th and 88th all the way. There's no like if they start building houses there, how are they going to build a roundabout across from the opening to the operations center? I don't know how they're going to work that out, but it's going to make even a worse mess. And we can't seem to get any answers from the roads, from the people that made the presentation to us on the concerning the operations center last July. They said, well, they didn't really have a plan. They didn't seem to be worried that with all this new traffic coming, all of a sudden, 300 to 400 cars daily. So that's what I would want to know, Marilee, if we could have another postcard so I can let people in my neighborhood know about this, because every person there in that my neighborhood that goes from 86th to 94th has a problem with that. They have troubles getting out, in time to get to work or to appointments and things. Sometimes you're sitting there quite a bit. Now they say we can go turn right and go up to the 99th circle. I guess that's a viable solution. But that's an extra 2 miles you're driving. And that's kind of silly, kind of crazy that they don't have a plan to get us onto 94th without going 2 miles extra. So is there a way we could have another postcard so I can let people know this is happening? The postcard was sent to, I don't know if it wasn't sent to me, or the information regarding this development was not sent to me. I had someone from Curtin Creek happen to send it over to me, forwarded it to me. That's the only way I knew this was getting ready to go into the application process. So would that be possible?
Oh, wow. So on the development notices, they go out to a certain radius of
Right. What, 500 feet?
and so I think they expanded what the radius is.
Yeah, but even with what it is now, it's not nearly
But
comprehensive enough to
excuse
deal
me,
with the problem that she's
excuse me.
describing.
But it sure won't go to the people that live along 86 and 83rd between, well, let's say between 94th and 107th. It's not going to get to everybody. And I don't
Right.
I have a couple hundred people on my mailing list, but that's not going to cover the people that need to hear about this. So I was just wondering if we could do an extra postcard.
Would we want to do and would it be the entire neighborhood, or should we do would it be more of interest to just the corridor that's along the houses that are along there? I mean, because you've got like 3,000 on your list, and so that would use up one of your 3 postcards.
I don't care about that.
And you don't care because you usually only do the 2 meetings a year.
It just depends. Yeah. But my people need to know about this happening. I don't want to.
Okay, well, I'll work with you on it of what you want to what we need to put on it to let people know. And are you wanting to get this out in enough time so that they can comment on the project?
Right. And I don't remember the dates right now, but it's not very far away.
Okay.
I saw 2 different dates, which kind of confused me. But if I can get it out by let's say sometime next week.
Okay, I'll have to check with I don't know that I have a notice of what was there, so I'll have to check and see what Kim got, and so that we can make sure we've got or if she sent it to you, then I can see what it is so that we can replicate the information.
It did not come from Kim, but she did say that she saw it, so she must have gotten it.
Okay.
Another concern I have then is that the Lechner land, where all this is or where the operations center from the city is being built. I just got another development project notice that someone wants to put a very large warehouse, 2 warehouses up on the northern end of the Lechner land up near 99th, I believe. They're big warehouses, kind of like what you see out on 160
Second. Yep.
Yeah. And I thought, why is that happening? When I was told years ago that they would try to find a place to put a park in there. And now we went from a park to a light industrial, and now we got the operations center. Now someone wants to put a giant warehouse, or 2 warehouses, I guess, one's smaller, one's bigger, out on the northern edge of that land. So I don't know. I thought the county owned that land. Why would they?
I'll have to look it up on GIS and find out who owns it and what, and if the zoning was changed on it. Because I'd have to see what the zoning is on it. If the zoning is parks, then they can't be putting a warehouse on it. But if the zoning is,
I don't think they ever changed the zoning anyway. They just made vague promises, let's say.
okay, well, I'll look into it. So it's the corner of 99th and what?
94th, I guess.
And 94th?
It's wherever, yeah, you'll see the dimensions of it.
Okay, I'll take a look at it, and then I'll try to find out what's going on and what it's zoned and what they're doing.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try to get back to you by the end of the day tomorrow. Isla, you had a question?
Well, what I'd just like to do, even though it's obviously not my neighborhood, but in Judy's situation, when you talked about how many people you wanted to send that postcard out to, for lots of reasons, I would think it would go to everybody in her neighborhood, because it isn't just the people who live in that corridor that use the gosh darn roads.
Right.
I mean, all of us
That's
are
true.
impacted. And right now, there's so much construction going. So if I were putting in my 2 cents, and that's what I'm trying to do, I would encourage Judy to have you send it to the whole neighborhood. She's losing her postcard anyway.
You're right. That's a good point, Isla. Because just because they don't live right off of there doesn't mean that they don't use that as a route to work or to take their kids to school or whatever it is. It could be a corridor that they use even daily to get to where they're needing to go. So thank you. That's a good point.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Isla.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I think we've gotten to the point where if people, aside from what we've discussed during Roundtable, people have county departments that we want to hear from. Why don't we discuss that now?
Yeah, it's me again. It's true.
And if
Well,
not,
the sheriff's office is always prime. We always want to know what they're doing. And public works includes so much that we could spread the various portions of public works out across more than a half a dozen meetings if we wanted to. People care about what's going on, and when they don't find out about it until the orange cones go out and they change three lanes to 2 or 1, then, you know, I mean, I would think those are absolutely basic. And the Council on Aging do a really good job, and I never mind seeing them. Cressa is another classic. I mean, we have a lot of things that people are interested in, and I think that would encourage more activity inside and outside the neighborhoods.
okay. We've essentially gone through the entire agenda.
Excuse me for just a moment. I just want to make sure that I I just weigh in where we are skipping discussing the bylaws. I wanted to make sure that folks did receive them because they were the ones that the draft that was reviewed by our legal counsel was sent out late this afternoon. So it was not sent out until late this afternoon. So I wanted to make sure that folks received it so that we are able to discuss it next week, or excuse me, next month, not next week, and be able to have some input from the group on what has been drafted. And I just wanted to make sure that folks had received it.
I saw it come in.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it up here in Salachi. There is your petty funds in 501c8s, anything under $250 that was not noted in those changes that you had, but anything under 250 is, slush fund. You don't have to report it. But you go over that amount,
Yeah.
You got to file taxes.
Mayor Lee, the awards meeting or council meeting, have you got that sorted out yet?
That is something that I did forget to double check with Kathleen on. And I did talk to Kathleen today of getting the awards for Eric and for Forrest or Hunter, excuse me. Hunter the Forester, not Forrest the Hunter.
I do that too.
Yes.
Are we able to get that on the council agenda for the presentation of those awards?
For next Tuesday?
Maybe is the 24th the evening meeting? Or would it be harder to get the staff there for an evening meeting?
The evening meeting is on the 17th.
17th.
Oh.
I'll see if we can get the.
Would you prefer to have it on the evening or a day meeting?
Day's fine with me.
I think we're fine with either. It's what's most convenient for the recipient.
Yeah.
The day would probably be easier to get the staff there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so the next day meeting is March 3rd.
March 3rd?
Yes.
And certainly have the plaques by then. Well, we've got hunters already.
And that'll give us time, a little bit of extra time to make sure that everyone's notified and is able to be there. Because we had a really short timeline for the proclamation. So it'll be nice to have a little bit longer timeline so we can get everyone notified.
Marilee?
Thank you, Kathleen.
Yeah. Do you want me to follow up with Rebecca or do you want to do that to make sure it gets on the
I'll
agenda?
shoot an email right after this meeting so that I'll copy you and Rebecca.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Marilee?
Yes.
The document you sent out, is that coming through DocHub?
I don't even know what DocHub is.
I don't either. I don't either, but that's what I got. I don't know if other people got something. It's got the Clark County logo, the guy paddling the canoe. That was what came in the most recent email I got from you. And then it has an open with DocHub link in it. And I started down that path and I couldn't quite get to a document, but it didn't seem right to me that that's the way it came.
That doesn't seem right to me either. Kathleen, are we doing something with IT that is sending things out through something called DocHub? I don't know anything about that.
No. And I'm trying to see.
Yeah, the link was image001.png, and that was the logo. And in that logo was a link to DocHub. So I didn't know quite.
No.
I wasn't familiar with that, so I haven't been able to get into that yet. But I did get that email.
I'll send something. I'll send something directly to you, just to you, and don't open that. I don't know what happened to that, but that does not sound right.
Yeah, it's really odd.
It's coming across on my end just as a PDF file.
Oh, wow.
That's what it should be, is a PDF file.
Let's
Judy
see, let
has
me
had
check
some
the-
trouble.
Let me check
Judy
the
has
date.
had some trouble with some of the things I've sent her when I send things that have the Clark County logo on it, because our logo has a link to our webpage, and her Yahoo email does something weird to it, and it gives this whole string of weirdness.
Yeah.
And so I try to take that off, and I think I did send this one with the link, with the logo, with the link on it, and that might be what you're seeing.
Yeah, I could send it back to you and you could take a look at it too.
Yeah, could you do that so I can see what it is that you got?
Yeah. I'll forward
But
that.
I will send something directly only to you that has the PDF on it so that you can see it.
Okay.
Stephen,
Yes.
I have just a quick suggestion for Brian and Gary concerning the power line, that one person to get in contact with and ask for help is the Sierra Club, Don Steinke's group.
Mhm.
And he'd be one to explain the problem to him, see what help he can give. in
Oh,
his
that's a good
group.
idea.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think I've got his contact information even.
Just for all the neighborhoods though, basically what they're doing, anybody concerned about it, the PP&L will come out and mark for free your property where the power line's coming through.
Yeah.
So if he's got time, he'll come out and he'll mark your property. So that's just the information that I've got. And the rest of it is all just it's a big jumble of stuff that, nobody can understand till 2030 when the power lines come through. So
Yeah, they'll even come out and do core samples on your property so that they can start preparing for putting their towers in. That was part of my frustration with him. He'd answer questions like that. It's like, yeah, I'll come out and survey. But when you ask questions like, is there really excess power at that dam that these
Yeah.
lines are going to serve? It's like,
yeah,
boy, that's outside my wheelhouse. Or, when you talk about a 40-foot easement and what trees are they going to cut? Well, I don't know. We have an easement and we're going to put a line in.
Oh,
So if you have a question about where it's going to hit your property, I'd be glad to come out. That's why I got so frustrated is
yeah,
they don't bring anybody out that can answer the real questions.
yeah. I remember you asking.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Because I'd been to 3 or 4 of those meetings
Yeah,
and people are just getting nothing out of it except a feeling that somebody's listening to them and giving them a free survey of where their property is going to be damaged.
yeah. And I think Gary did. It's going to be poles instead of a tower, right? 3 poles,
Double poles.
double poles.
Double poles, yeah. What, 30 feet apart, and then beyond that, yeah.
Yeah,
But my neighbor had a core sample taken that they said would be, 20 feet deep because they wanted to see what kind of tower they could put there. Maybe they need a bigger one there, and they went 80 feet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what he didn't tell the rest of the people in Yakult at that meeting is that they do a flyby every year up here. And, we're not afraid of power lines in Salachi because, where I'm sitting right now, I am really close to big power lines. It's just like 2 miles away. So, but what they're not telling the people is that during the summer that they buzz helicopters right prior to the fire season. They come in and like crop dusters with their helicopters and they buzz the entire line to knock dust off the line. Because when the dust gets somewhere caught in between the hot and the neutral line, it can arc, and that's where the fires occur in the winter. is, so they don't tell people. They usually come in through here roughly about 12 midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning with big spotlights and helicopters.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, oh yeah, it's like black ops up here. But anyway,
Well, and then there's the spraying and there's all kinds of stuff. But and it's really comforting to know that
yeah,
having a Palisades fire is unlikely. But I live at the top of a 1 mile road that's 1 lane wide, and there are literally hundreds of homes that's the escape route
oh,
to get off this hill.
yeah,
And but so it's no comfort to us,
and it shouldn't be.
but it's unlikely. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, but
It was unlikely at Palisades too. But
a road like what you live on, the insurance companies will just deny all of you guys insurance up that
it'll all
road.
be canceled. Yep. They
Yep.
don't want the liability of this
Yep.
entire hillside burning down and
Yep.
destroying every home and all the people trying to escape.
Yep.
They don't want anything to do with it.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
A lot
So
of concerns.
Let's get together on that.
That's my frustration with this
Yeah,
guy.
let's get together on that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try to get my blood pressure down.
Exactly.
It is tough.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything to contribute at this time?
I just had a couple of housekeeping things about the bylaw document. First of all, there's no section 3, and so that's just something to adjust. But also, neighborhood is one word, so I always am offended when I see NHA instead of NA.
Yes,
And-
I agree.
Huh,
Thank you.
English teacher.
Yeah.
Yes, that's me. I'm librarian.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
go
so-
ahead and clarify that. I clarified it once before.
Yeah.
NA is somewhat taken by Narcotics Anonymous.
Yeah, it's
And
too
there's
bad,
some
but-
confusion with that, and that is the reason why it started being placed as NHA on some of the documentation. Because there were some comments made that it was not a good thing to have it be confused with Narcotics Anonymous.
Well, it's impossible to avoid everything that is offensive to somebody, but neighborhood association across the country, and all the NUSA groups, when you have meetings, nobody talks about NHA. So how people in Clark County can be more offended than the rest of the states, I have no idea. It's just a thing. We need a section 3. You need to decide what you're going to do with that. But I think we probably should chat with it at least a little bit.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Who were the two award recipients?
Sworn to
The
secrecy.
one for last year was Hunter Decker,
Uh-huh.
who's the county forester. And the one for this year was Eric Lambert.
Ooh, I love to hear
Eric
that.
Lambert, who is in Public Works
Mm-hmm.
and
Chairs his neighborhood association.
Ah. You're sworn
he's
to secrecy, Glenn.
yeah.
Okay, you got it.
The point of the award, and actually there were more people involved with him than he, but
Just him. Yeah.
was basically to recognize the organization and execution of the
Mural.
fish
Mural.
portrait wall that's been put up along I guess it's 117th Street. across from the Klein Line parking area.
Very cool.
Yeah, basically, this was something that was conceived and promoted for a while from a resident who has no official connection either with NAC or with the county, but the wall that was there was pretty unsightly. And fundamentally, we got a local artist to help arrange volunteers to design and paint. You'd almost call them cartoons because they're not really portraits, but of 60 of the aquatic species that are native to Klein Line Park
Very cool.
and to Salmon Creek. So we thought that was a very worthwhile.
Caricatures, not cartoons.
Character, yeah, character.
No, I didn't know quite what the
Yeah.
proper way to describe it was.
Yeah.
Because they're not, I'll say photographic like representations either.
That was Anna, the artist, by the way. And
Yeah.
she was with another one, with another.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, two artists.
Marilee, I see your hand.
I had one other update that I just got reminded of by Isla with her mention. NACCC is coming up this year in May, and we have a unique opportunity because they've decided to make it virtual again this year. And so you can register for $125 if you register before April 30th, and you'll have access to all of the conference materials virtually for 2 days for the $125. And it'll be every single one of the conference materials. I'll send that out.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much.
Information. And I was hoping that that we might be able to propose at least one scholarship. I don't know if we have any funding for that because I know that we're really short on money. There is also there's always awards for Neighborhood of the Year, Best Neighborhood Program. There's a newsletter competition and a who's who in neighborhoods. And I'm working with Johnny right now about getting together a proposal to nominate that mural work for Best Neighborhood Program for a multi-neighborhood project partnership award. There's a multi-neighborhood project partnership, and then there's also a physical revitalization beautification. So we're trying to determine which one we would nominate it for, but we're going to try to nominate it for it so that we can get a NACCC award for something in our area. We did get a NACCC award for our Green Bay program several years ago, and it would be really cool if we got another one for Clark County.
Okay. Anything else to discuss? Other business? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I assume so move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Have to ask.
Yeah, we want to stay here the rest of the night.
Good meeting.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Yep, good
Yeah,
meeting.
thanks for a good meeting.
Yeah.
Take care.
I'm straight on track.